Hallo und herzlich willkommen beim Laufenden Decken Podcast, dem österreichischen Lauf-, Sport-, Trail- und Ausdauer-Podcast, den ihr immer wieder in euren Ohren genießen dürft. Wir haben heute einen ganz, ganz, ganz speziellen Gast bei uns und aus diesem Grund werde ich dann in ungefähr ein paar Sekunden auch auf Englisch switchen, weil bei uns ist ein mehrfacher Weltmeister und Zegama-Sieger und Wiederkehrer. Es ist bei uns Stian Angermund. Hi Stian, welcome to our show. I'm delighted that you are with us.
Hello, thank you. It's very nice to be here.
I just did a brief introduction what you did in your life. You were born 1968 in Norway, in Bergen.
Yeah, in
And
86, yeah.
86.
Yeah. No, I'm not a teenager anymore, but not that old.
Oh, sorry. First fault in the first minute.
Yeah.
And you're famous as vertical K specialist, former.
Yeah.
Now you're on the longer trail races. You won in Innsbruck the short trail with, I think it was 30 something kilometers.
A
And
little bit longer than a marathon.
it was longer than a marathon. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw you on the last downhill through the woods. I took pictures there, and it was crazy how fast you did the switchbacks in the woods, because I think the third and fourth man all struggled there, and they lost, I think, a half a minute only on this few meters. You were flying. It was crazy.
Yeah, thanks for that. When I've been looking at the Strava after the race, I think I lost several seconds in the last downhill, but and I'm usually not the fastest downhiller, but like when you're fighting towards the end of the race, you just give everything. Like
Yeah.
when you feel the rest of the pack is chasing you, you have to go.
Yeah, and it was a bit of it was slippery, because there were some slippery stones there that some of the guys really struggled there. And before Innsbruck, you won in the prior World Cup in Chiang Mai, I think 2021.
Yeah, that was postponed to 22. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so it was actually the previous World Championship were around half a year before the second one.
Yeah, it was, I think, November. I guess.
Yeah, early November, and
Yeah.
the World Championship in Innsbruck were early June. I don't remember exactly the date, 8 or 9 June or something.
Yeah.
So it was quite close.
And prior that, you won the World Championship in the Sky Marathon and the Vertical K 2016.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that your origin, or what did you do before that? What was your? Give us a brief overview how you get into the mountain running, sky running thing.
Yeah.
Was that your original sport?
I can explain or tell you about my athletic background. So I did when I was a teenager, I did the sport biathlon, the ski and shooting, which I think was awesome. And during the summer, I did a lot of my training were running, and then I figured out running was something I really enjoyed. And I think when I was by the end of my teenager years or beginning of my 20s, I stopped biathlon and stopped sports for a couple of years. And then I moved to the town where I live now, which is called Bergen. That is in the west coast of Norway. Then I picked up running and figured out that running uphill was something I were super fan of. And that was also a big thing here, especially in Bergen. But when it comes to trail running in Norway, there was uphill running was the big thing. So then I was running with the locals here in Bergen to do several of these uphill running races, and found that was very fun. And then someone told me about there was a sky race in the Dolomites. So in 2014, I went to do that race, and that was actually the first race I did with the proper downhill. And that race has a quite crazy downhill. That was awesome. And on the same travel, we actually went to Austria to do the Grossglockner Berglauf.
Yeah.
Which I did 2 years in a row. That was I had very good memories from that race. I think it was very nice.
It's a
And
great
then,
race.
yeah, it's a great race. And then I think it was maybe in 2015 or something, I did we're in Chamonix for the Marathon de Mont Blanc festival, or like the event. And there I did vertical, and a race they have there that is called the cross. That is around half a marathon. And because I did well there, I got in contact with Salomon brand, and then I started running with them for some years. And in Salomon, they were not super fan of uphill running races, so there they would like me to do more up and downhill running races, and I started to do more of that, and also figure out that was actually a very fun type of racing. But I still really enjoy an uphill running race, and I still do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you started a biathlon is in Norway, like cross country skiing. I think it's it's the thing.
Yeah, it's quite important in Norway, and we are very proud of being very good at it. But like it's, I think quite big percentage of the world's cross country skiers are Norwegian, so it's a big thing for us.
Yeah, but how early? You said you did it till your early 20s, or till you were 20.
Yeah.
How young does this assertion is done between, oh, I can go to the European Cup, to the World Cup, to whatsoever, or okay, I always will be the second or third row, like in Austria or in Norway too, with skiing. There are such a lot of people wanted to do it, to do this when they were young, but there are so much. You have to be so good to get to the World Cup team. How early you have to decide?
I think yes, a sport like this require also a big support. You need to have very good skis. You need to have someone that can wax the skis. And to be honest, I'm not very fan of all the equipment stuff. That's something I really like with running. Like you just put on your shoes and go. And if the shoes are dirty, you just stand in the river, and then the shoes are clean.
Yeah.
When it comes to skiing, it's like I hate waxing skis. I don't like it at all. And I remember, I think the last season I did biathlon, I think I waxed my skis 2 times total for the whole year, and I think I did more than 20 races.
Oh,
So I lost the race way before the start line, but I enjoyed competing, and I didn't care at all about the results. And I think during my teenage years, I didn't do a lot of training. I have several
Okay.
friends that was not into sport at all, and I think to reach like the top national level, to be able to ski in the World Cup, and back then was like the junior World Cup. I didn't spend enough time, and I'm not sure I had the talent either. But for me, it was just to have fun with the
Yeah.
sport, and that's actually had been through my whole running career. That's always been my main goal, or my main focus, is to have fun, enjoy the sport. That means so much more than the results.
Yeah. But do you think your teenage years with doing this biathlon thing, because there you need a big lung there, as you
Yeah.
all of the cross country skiers have uh, a big lung and brutal uphill skills. Uh, is it something you can rely on today? Is this something you took from there to now, and that's one of the starting points for your WK career, or is something completely different?
Yeah, I think, as I said, like my level was not like maybe the highest when I was a teenager. But I think maybe some of the training culture over there, I was focusing more on time than distance, and I still focus on time uh, when I make like training plans for myself. I have no idea how far I'm running, and I don't care about how far I'm running. It's more about like the time I'm spending out there. So I think it's some of that, and also some of my training already back then was uphill running for intervals, which I figured out that I liked. So yeah, maybe it started there, but I think I developed way more in my mid-20s, when I really started to push for trail running.
Okay, because I'm so curious. You were on the like the Glockner mountain run. I know a lot of amateurs say, okay, if I break the 2 hours, uh, that would be great. 2 hours for the Glockner mountain run, it's a great time. And you did it on your first try in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And 30,
Okay.
1 hour and
I don't remember
30
the time,
minutes.
but
It's
I trust you to know it.
it's unbelievable fast. uh, and it's not a technical race, I know, but yeah, it's
No, it's
you have
quite runnable.
yeah,
I think it starts, for what I remember, starts completely flat, and then
yeah,
it generally goes steeper and steeper.
yeah. And
So it's
the last 500 meters, 300 meters are these steps in the
yeah,
wall you have to climb, and it's crazy if you look down and see somebody not walking up the steps but running them up, and it's crazy. uh, but then you switched. You said you run. You did start to run for Salomon,
yeah.
and switched to yeah, let's say up and down and trail races, longer races, and you did the um, uh, the Marathon de Mont Blanc, I guess, uh,
Mm.
and you won a Zegama
Yeah,
2016, uh,
17.
and a 17, and you won the vertical K in Zegama as well. Uh,
Yeah, that's true.
um, and that's something. Yeah, I would say that are two things of the top level in trail running worldwide, because Segama is Segama. It's a thing. and and you I
It is an
think you
amazing race.
yeah, and you I think you held the course record at this time. before Killian came back.
Yeah, I had it for several years, but I think when it comes to trail running and course records, I think for me it doesn't have like a big focus because every race is different. It's like it's outdoor sport. One year is cold, the other is warm, it's wet, it's dry, it's windy, it's not windy. It's a high level competition, it's maybe less, it's more tactical race. Like there's so many factors that that could has an impact on the time you get at the finish line. So for me, the course record, I don't have like a big focus on that when I run races at all. I think maybe like seasonal is maybe the closest thing we get in trail running to have like closest thing to track and field where you can actually focus more on the times. I think most of the other races are, time doesn't matter.
Yeah, the time on that day does matter when
That's true.
if it's the
I agree
faster
with that
time.
Yeah.
So in retrospective, what were the biggest highs and lows in your career? What was it Zegama? Was it the world championship in Innsbruck? Well, what was it?
It's hard to tell. Like, it could be like when I won the Norwegian Championship in uphill running in 2014. That was like a big thing for me. Winning the World Championship in skyrunning in 16, both vertical and sky race there was also a huge thing for me. I think also like my second position after Killian, a month after Zegama in 2017 in Marathon Mont Blanc was a huge thing for me. And I was running, back in 2021? I was running the Golden Trail World Series and won the 3 first stages. That was a huge thing for me. So I don't know. And of course, the Trail Running World Championships in Innsbruck and in Thailand. Also, like, it's hard to say. Like, one thing is maybe like much of the career has been good.
Okay. It's I think there are some people who did not know where you're coming from and what you have won the last 10 years, and then they heard, hey, this guy, he won the OCC, and hey, this guy is banned. So, he is maybe that's some kind of shooting star, and okay, he just rocketed up and exploded. But you were there for 10 years, up there. It's not
Has
that.
been a lot of good years until 1.5 years ago was not that good anymore.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give a quick overview that you're not a, let's say, one-hit wonder. Coming up to France, say, hey, I'm here, I'm winning this one, and everybody says, oh, it's okay. That's why. No, that's not why. Because you were there 10 years, you trained a lot, you did a lot. That's why you were there. But coming to this specific race or day or what time period, I think a lot of people heard or read the news. What happened there? You were tested in the UTMB final week, and you won the OCC, and you were positive tested to chlorothalidine.
No, it's a drug that I actually before I got the result I never heard of, but it's called clothalidone.
Yeah,
that is like I've been reading a lot of this drug now, so now I know a lot about it. but it's often used as a heart medicine for high blood pressure.
Okay.
So it's a diuretic drug, so it doesn't improve your performance at all. But the reason it's on the list of the WADA, the doping list, is because it has a theory. It is a theory that it can be used to hide drugs that improve your performance.
But
So the drug by itself is actually not good. It does not improve your performance at all.
Yeah.
So it actually makes you run slower.
Yeah, because stuff who gets the water and out of your body in sports, which water intake is key. It's I don't think a good thing to do. That was
to be dehydrated in a race, especially in high altitude and in the heat, is not something I will recommend. That's true. But
that's something I think all of the trail running community guys I know said, okay, that does not make any sense, because you knew you will be tested in this specific race, because everybody knows if you're good at the UTMB finals, there will be tests. It's like, oh, you did the World Championship, you will be tested. That's for sure, because that are the races you know you will be tested.
It's the test is announced. It's not like test you have where they just show up at your door and you need to make a test that you don't know about. That's in competition testing and outside competition testing. It's very different.
Yeah. And then the whole so we don't and we didn't understand why this should have been taking place, because it does not make any sense that you use this thing in competition, because it does not make sense. And I think that's something you mentioned as well, and said, okay, why should I have done this? And I don't know what this is, and I haven't done this. Then the whole stuff went on. What happened after the race? Maybe you can give us an overview on the last, I think, 18 months.
Yeah, I can explain. After the finish line of the race, it was like after many other races, you meet often, like, I think I only been you normally meet a guy. I think it's guys that are a witness for guys that make the urine sample, and women that are following the other women. But yeah, I met the guy there. He said he was from the French Anti-Doping Association, and then he followed me through the test. And I think it was like normal. I was drinking a lot of water to have to be able to pee at all, and I filled the documents. I signed that they can use the sample for research if they want, and everything. And then I signed and left, and think that everything was fine. And then 50 days later, like 50 days later, I got an email a Friday late afternoon. Then I got an email stating that I tested positive, and I have 15 days to send my written statement, and that I can risk getting a fine of what was it, 450 thousand euros? No, 45,000 euros.
Oh, okay.
I can risk that. And I was shocked. like we came home from the hospital the same evening. Like our son was born 3 days before this, and my world just collapsed. I didn't know about I didn't first of all, I didn't know too much about what's in this email, but I sent a message to my team manager in Essex,
Mhm.
and he put up a meeting with the team doctor in Essex, and they explained me about the drug. And also within the first day, it was actually someone in Essex advised me to blame my girlfriend about the drug because she was pregnant at the time when I did the test, and I should just blame it on her. Which I was shocked hearing this because that is not okay, and quite angry about hearing that. And then we needed to start to investigate, figure out where does this drug come from? Because I haven't used this drug. Like, I don't use medicine because I'm lucky to have a good health, and I don't use supplements because I know supplements can be contaminated. So I haven't used this, and where does this source come from? So we hired a lawyer, which helped us to go through this, like figure out like what is going on, because now we also need to learn so much about the system. Like I didn't know anything about the anti-doping at all. I know like there's a list and you shouldn't like use the things are on
Yeah.
that are on the list. And of course, when I thought like if you don't use medicine and supplements, that should be fine. But apparently, that's then I still test positive. So
Oh, just a quick question in between. You were running for Essex at this time, uh,
yeah,
and they have they have a trail running team, okay, but they have a really big road running team.
yeah,
Where this is standard because it's a Olympic discipline,
mm,
and so all of their athletes are tested, I think, once in a while in competition, in training, and so on. And did they w- did they never mention to say, hey, um, everything you take to everything you're consuming, just do a test, just give it to this or that, or there is in Austria we have the NADA app. You can all of the medicine you can scan to, yeah, it's okay or it's not okay. It was there never uh, let's say yeah some yeah some stuff they give you at hand before this.
no, it's in the contract. Is athletes responsible for anything? Like if you
Yeah,
test positive, is you're responsible. So I know there's like several apps you can scan everything you eat, but
yeah,
as I said, like I don't use any medicine and supplements. It should be fine. Um, but yeah, so
okay,
but like in the coming weeks, I was first of all I was struggling a lot like mentally, which I actually still do. Um, and we find like we had some medicine at our home, like as my girlfriend is using, and also found a medicine that my mother-in-law are using. It's also a heart medicine that we figured out it was not the same drug. And I tested some bars from and race nutrition from
yeah,
Morton
yeah,
and Moon Valley, which I've been using. And those tests came back, was it like in February or something in 2024? So the whole process take ages with no result of clothalidone. And then we had some friends that was like looking through the documents, and they realized there was no information of where the urine sample has been stored for the first 5 days. And we also saw there was a wrong date on the collection day in the documents. And because of those wrong information, we were asking for a DNA analysis of the urine sample. And by doing that, our lawyer said that we didn't have the legal reason to ask for that, so then he stopped. So we had to find a new lawyer, and then the French Anti-Doping Association said that the process were, I don't remember exactly the words, but like there was no problem with the process, so we couldn't get the DNA analysis of the urine sample. So I still don't know if it's my urine sample.
We followed your case closely because it was everything in this case is kind of strange, and we did.
I think they did a lot of mistakes, but that's okay because they have within the rules they can do a lot of mistakes, and it's fine for them.
We did two episodes with a guy from the Austrian Anti-Doping Association, and he said, okay, this storing the urine sample in the fridge of somebody who is collecting this is it's not nothing special, because if you can trust these guys, it's who can you trust if not them? But when we read, I think you did a long posting where you said, hey, I want to do a DNA test just to be sure, and that this test was not granted. It's kind of bad, because that's why are you not why can you not prove your innocence when there is a method to to prove it? And if it is your urine, and if it is positive, okay, you're busted, done. Maybe you don't know, maybe you still don't know where it comes from, but you can say, okay, at least it's mine.
Yeah, at least it's mine, but I still don't know what happened to it those 5 days. And I thought the whole process was more professional. I thought it was like they put the urine sample in some kind of box with the camera on it the whole way, and it transported directly to the lab. But instead, like, it's there for 5 days, and then it was sent with I don't know what company. And I think when I saw in the custody chain, there's like the documents that is following the urine sample. 9 days after the urine sample collection, they didn't know it was positive. And that was 9 days. 50 days, they tell me, a Friday evening. It's like, it's really difficult to try to find the source when they give that information this late. And like, I think it's, for many of us, it's hard enough to remember what you were eating for dinner last week. And then you have to go like 50 days back to trying to find and remember everything you did. So I have to go like through my phone with so which picture I took. I'll need to look at on Strava to see where I've been running, to try to remember what I did those days. And that was really difficult. And then I went to Strasbourg to make a toenail and chest hair analysis to see if they could detect the drug, the clothalidone drug there. But
when was that? That 2024 in spring.
Yeah, that was maybe some of the mistakes I did in this case, is that I heard about this for the first time, I think it was in January or early February, to make this. And then we asked our lawyer and said like, it doesn't help if you don't have the most likely source. And we didn't have the most likely source. Then we waited, and then when I did this toenail and chest hair analysis, that was around 8 months after
Okay.
the urine sample collection, and that is late. And according to Professor Kintz, the professor who was there, he said like the chest hair was like they can find something up to 8 months, but the
Okay.
toenails, he said, was like from 8 months until 12 months. But later on, it was like in the autumn last year, in 2024, the French Anti-Doping Association had hired a professor to look at the case, and he said there was not enough evidence for using this method. So that was like there was no evidence, like we couldn't use that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So, before we get to 2025 and how this
Yeah,
all worked.
I'm still
Yeah.
not more for 2024, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Because you did this all, and then there was some yeah, let's say offer for you uh so you can get free, because you did this test, and you sent it to the anti-doping association in France, but uh, nothing you do uh, was accepted, or nothing you did was accepted by them.
yeah, like this toenails and chest hair was not good enough, and then yeah, we got a new lawyer, and we wrote them. We made my written statement that we sent to them by the 24th of April, 2024, and then they started looking at it in June 2024. And then it was very quiet for several months. Like to look at the people who were what's it called? Come with the decision of the case, that was called college.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
was like a board of some people. I don't know who they are and how many people there were, but they were like looking at the case, and I think they meet once a month.
Okay.
But yeah, they started looking at the case in June, and then they sent an email. The administration, the French anti-doping, sent an email in June about a request we sent them in February 2024. The request we sent them in February was that we had because of a new study that was launched or released in February 2024, or the end of January 2024, said that this drug was possible to be detected in the urine after 1 hour instead of previous research that was 6 hours after intake. So based on that, I want to test the rest of my race nutrition. So we sent the request for that in February, and
Okay.
didn't hear anything about it. And then in June, the college were looking at it, they say that this should be investigated. So then the administration, it took them several months, and then we had to test a lot of things. So by the middle of July, I think we get the results from the test, and there was no finding of clothalidone. And then we didn't hear anything from the French Anti-Doping Association until the end of October. And our lawyer and we sent them email every month asking like, when will they look at the case? When can we expect the result? And my lawyer also sent them an email stating I struggle mentally, and it's like to just go through the summer, don't know anything, like they have all the power, and I couldn't do anything. That was mentally really. I struggled a lot mentally through that, and they just ignored me for 5 months, which I think was horrible. I don't think anyone should go through that. But by the end of October, they explained me that there has been a professor looking at the case, and we got the results from that. And he stated that he could not see any doping scenario, and that this is most likely a contamination case where the source, where the source of contamination most likely came just before or during the race. It's his statement. And we had asked a UTMB organizer about if we can know what they were serving at the refreshment points, which they haven't sent us. So that is a closed door. So we can't investigate anything there. Yeah. And I asked ASICS if they can ask like some of the employees, the old employees that were with the team during that week, if some of them are using the medicine, but they can't answer that because as you can't ask the other employees if they're using medicine, apparently. So that is also closed door. So then, yeah, I don't have the source. And then we had the meeting with the French Anti-Doping Association, like face to face on screen. That's the first and only time I've seen them. We had that at the 17th of December, I think. And then they explained me like, yeah, they can see that I haven't cheated, but they still have to give me ban. And like originally the ban should be 2 years because I haven't found the source of contamination. But because they see I haven't cheated, they want to reduce that.
Okay.
But they can't reduce it too much because they're worried that WADA, the International Anti-Doping Association, will appeal. So that then they ended with 16 months of suspension for me not having found the source.
Yeah.
And because I got I got any suspension at all, then ASICS decided that all my money for all the salary from September 2023 until the end of 24 were gone. Before that, the plan was that I should get that money, and then I realized I'd been without a job for was it like 16 months. So that was financially not the best. And then I was without a sponsor, and then this year I've been waiting for the appeal deadline to be done, and then around a month ago, I finally got that confirmed. So now I can go on and be done with this. Hopefully, like mentally, hopefully soon as well.
Yeah. Thanks for the whole story. There are a few points I want to dig deeper. First thing, you said you struggled or you struggle mentally with all of that. Obviously, a big cut in your life. But how you resettled yourself again and again and again, because I think it comes in waves when you have your different ups and downs, and how your family and your surrounding copes with all of that and supports you, or were there voices which said, okay, so you're done with that, move on, do something different, get a job, another job, or I don't know.
Yeah, like we as a family, like we are all been suffering. I think, hope and believe the kids has not been much affected by this, but my girlfriend and I, we have both been suffering a lot, and we're still suffering. One thing, like you can get another job, but like mentally, I was not able to work. I was work a couple of days in my daughter's kindergarten, but one thing is like mentally, I was not capable of working. I was struggling a lot. I was scared of meeting people. I was scared like to go outside. I was felt very uncomfortable with the surroundings of many people. And I thought I had a job until December last year. So yeah, it was brutal. And then my girlfriend, she went from parent leave until sick leave, and she's working now, but we still struggle. Like we have like we're doing fine like together, but we still struggle to find like happiness, because this case is so much unfairness. Of course, all the trolls out there on the internet, it doesn't help, but I'm trying to focus minimum on that. But there's a lot of stigma around doping. Like if you're associated with WADA, then many people think you're a cheater. And now when I see the system from the wrong side, I see that's totally different. And I hope in the future, I really want to work for clean athletes like myself, clean athlete with a ban. And the system is so unfair, and something need to change there. And yeah, I've been lucky to have the support from my girlfriend. I try to support her as well, and my family and friends has been with us all the time. And I really hope now, when everything is done, that we hopefully soon can find happiness again.
Yeah.
To be able to not just laugh about the joke, but like really smile and feel like you're like kind of smiling inside. Things are actually fantastic. I really hope to have that feeling again soon.
A quick question, because you said you dropped out of your sponsoring. How was your, or how is, okay, you kicked out. How was your employee state? Are you self-employed, or were you employed at ASICS? And how is the health care system in Norway when you're kicked out? Is there were you unemployed, or were you employed but without job? Or how does this
Yeah,
work
like
in Norway?
Yeah, the things that with those contracts, you're not like employed. There's something between sponsoring and employed. You're not like, so I don't know too much about that, but you can get like money from the government for like when you're searching for a job and these things.
Okay.
Like I thought I had a job, so I haven't searched for applied for money. Like I sent to this to government, like show my contract, and now I'm out, and then said, but this is not like a working contract. So
Okay.
so yeah, for actually the last 1.5 year, I've been living. We are living from my girlfriend's income, and that's it.
Okay. But
So,
if you're sick and you have to go to the doctor, is there a state funded healthcare in Norway you can take as well, or have you to pay with every medicine you have to use?
yeah, there are like if you're sick, but I have been like not physically sick, only like
Okay.
I've been struggling with this case, and yeah, so I haven't got any money. Like maybe if I've been screaming higher or more louder, maybe I could get some money. But
Okay.
yeah, now I've been starting a little bit with my online coaching, which I had to close down when I was like when you're in the suspension, you're not allowed to do anything with sport. Like I was not allowed to follow my girlfriend. No, not my. I was not allowed to follow my daughter to gymnastics. I was not allowed to stand on the sideline on the race to be cheering for the other athletes, not to be doing coaching, not to do races myself, like nothing. And which I think was very hard, not
Yeah.
to be able to be a part of the community. But now I started like my online coaching again with a couple of athletes, and maybe I'll see if I can get some more athletes soon. And that is like some income. So that's what I'm doing now as a job.
Okay. Yeah. Um, before we get to now and your future, um,
Yeah.
just to round this case up, you said this system is not that good. Let's say it's not that good.
Yeah.
um, um, we know that there are sports which are looked at closely, like in Norway biathlon, or in Austria skiing, or um, I don't know, the track and field, and so on, because they are Olympic disciplines, and you have these whereabouts. You have to say, okay, I'm not sleeping at home. I'm this or there, and I'm on training camp in this city, and somebody can come there and say, hey, give me your urine, and say, yeah, it's okay, thanks. And in trail running, it's not. You can say you can do whatever you want 300 days a year. You can take everything, because there is no out of competition sampling. You only can be tested, or normally, when you're in competition, except you are somebody who is in another sports where these tests are. So there are two different classes in these sports, and
Yeah, I think
different.
like the status of trail running is not very high, at least in Norway. And I've been asked to be tested, and I really want them to come and test me.
Yeah.
But you can't like you can't like book a test. They need to come.
Yeah,
That is a challenge, of course.
we heard
But I think like
that.
people mm,
We heard that from the NADA guy. He said they have only that small amount of budget to do tests, and in in Austria, some of the sports associations, like skiing, say, "Hey, we have money. Here's let's say a few €1,000. Please do more tests in the skiing team.
mm,
We are paying for that, because
yeah.
there is not enough uh, organized money to do all these tests. So maybe, yeah, is this a point where this should improve? What are the points you say it has to be done, that this is a good testing system?
I think there's a lot of things that could be tested. I think one thing is communication. Like, it's no real communication with anti-doping people and me in this case. It's just like brutal emails that I find like brutal. They're just like no one there has asked me how I'm doing. They know that there are people in my situation that are thinking about suicide.
Hmm.
I have not done that. Maybe because I've been lucky to have so much good support around me. There's a lot of stigma around anti-doping, and WADA itself has estimated that 40% of all suspended athletes are what they called non-intentionals.
Hmm.
40% is a huge number. And I also heard like the test where there has been some journalists have been looking at rugby in New Zealand for a decade, and they found that among all the suspended athletes there, there was less than 10% that were what they can find like cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
That means more than 90% of all the suspended athletes there were what they call like not cheaters. And
Okay.
that's a crazy high number. And I think like, and also in the system, how can you prove, like, how can you show innocence? Because like the only thing that matters, like they have a urine sample that is positive, that's then they don't need anything more. But what happened, like, I know we as an athlete, you're responsible for what you're eating, what you're consuming.
Yeah.
But like in trail running, it's an open source. In theory, a person on the refreshment point can decide who will test positive or not. And there's athletes responsible to prove that someone had done it. And I'm not saying that has happened in my case, but in theory, that could happen. And now when the prize money is increasing, that can be something that could happen in the future. But that's like, I don't know what it's called, but that's like a risk, like it's somewhere that it could improve some way. I don't know how to make the system better. I was thinking like maybe before a race, they could maybe take a urine sample collection of maybe the top athletes, and then after a race, you do the same with the top 3 or top 10 or whatever. And then if there is, and then you test only the top 3 or 10, or I don't know how many they can afford, but then they test the top people, and if some of them are testing positive, then you can test the urine samples you have collected.
Mm-hmm.
And by then, when you have like more samples, then you can see if there's more people testing positive. For example, if there was something in the drinking water.
Yeah.
And if also like, for example, in my case, I don't know if I were on the end tail of this drug. Yeah, I read like when you're, let's say you eating supplements that is has
Countermand.
this drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, then like the level increases in your body quite fast and then goes slowly down, like the long
Mm-hmm.
end tail.
Yeah.
And now I don't only have one point on this curve. I don't know if I was in the beginning or end tail. If you had made a urine sample collection before the race, then you have 2 points on this curve. Then it's so much easier to try to investigate and figure out where does this drug come from. And
Mm-hmm.
I think to do this, if you have more urine sample collection, then I think it will only help clean athletes, people that has not trying to cheat in the system. If test positive and have done on purpose, and like, yeah, it doesn't help to have more samples. But I think for a clean athlete, then it's easier to try to find the source of contamination.
Yeah.
But of course, it costs money. But then I was thinking, like, if you only like collect urine samples, I don't think that costs so much money. I think analyzing costs way more. And then you
Yeah.
just only analyze if there's someone testing positive, and then you can just get rid of.
Of
If
the
there's
rest.
no one tests positive, then you can just get rid of everything. I think that's one way to maybe improve the system. And I'm not an expert on this, but I'm sure that there should be way to improve this to make the sport more safer. I think what WADA is doing is I think they're trying to make the sport clean, but they're not making the sport safe.
Yeah.
And I really want to improve make the sport safer for clean athletes. And that's something I want to work on when in the future.
Is this where do you think in which yeah which organizations can put money into testing, because WADA says, hey, we have this much money to we can do this on that test, and so on. The national associations say, hey, we don't have this much money, and in Austria maybe we test more, or in Norway we test more, and in France they were testing way more, and in Spain we're testing not that much, or in Greece we don't do that much. Is it maybe a way to go that the 4 or 5 big series, UTMB, Golden Trail, Skyrunning, we WMRA, and so doing tests in all of their races, or is it something you say, hey, the brands, which are the sponsors, should be responsible and say, okay, our international and national teams are tested every, don't know, 10 weeks. Why not? And we have clean
I don't I
athletes.
I don't know how the financial part of it. I have no idea how it should be. I don't know.
But the
Yeah.
brands have really much, they have a lot of money.
Yes, some brands has a lot of money and others less, I guess. So, but then it's like different. What is some brands with a lot of money, they can afford this, but there are some brands, and for example, myself now I don't have any sponsors.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any sponsor. I can ask them to test me.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's correct. Because we thought a lot about that and said, okay, how can you, how can you do a fair testing system? Maybe everybody above a level of, let's say, 910 ITRA points should be tested regularly, or maybe
yeah.
if you're an elite athlete at these races, you should be tested. But because that's it's really complex.
Yeah, it's not easy. And what now been like with the experience I have now from my case, I have to say I'm really scared of being tested.
Yeah.
Like I really want to have a good system, but I'm really scared of being tested now. Not because I'm hiding anything, because I don't trust the system.
Um, you ran Zegama, your comeback race 2 days ago. Were you
Yeah,
tested?
that's true. No, sadly I was not, but I was also not in top. I don't know, is it top 5 or top 3? Either of
I don't,
them,
yeah.
top 3 or top 5 is getting tested.
Okay, but
So
you were top 10, which is,
yeah, I was,
hey,
yeah.
celebrating this great comeback in
Yeah,
that.
it was a very special race for me. Zegama has I've been there like 3 times before, in 2017, 18, and 19, and I have to say it's a it's a crazy race because of the fantastic atmosphere, but it's also so much kindness, so many wonderful people there. And then when I was thinking about like a race to come back, there was like only Zegama. That was the only race I was thinking about, that I
Really?
really want to come. Yeah,
Okay.
like there's a lot of beautiful races, but like Zegama is like a special. Yeah, for me, it's a very special race. I guess it is the same for many others as well. But I really want to come back there. But on the other hand, I was very scared. I was very scared to see how it will be to meet, um, yeah, the fellow athletes I'm running with. Yeah, my friends. I know what my friends are thinking, but like the rest of the start line there, and also all the spectators. I
Okay.
was, yeah, especially like the last days before the race, I get more and more scared. And then I was traveling there. I was frightened, and it was filled with emotions. Like the day before the race, they have this presentation of the top athletes. We went on the stage there and got their bib. I got a lot of good comments or greetings from other runners and spectators, and for me that was just too much. Yeah, my tears were again it was a lot of tears, and then yeah, on Sunday now when I run the race, it's it was wonderful and really tough at the same time. On the start line there, I was about to cry and collapse. We started the race. I felt I was like in the roller coaster. I was going way too fast. I didn't have a clear vision. I struggled to breathe. I was like super tight in my muscle, like around, like I couldn't breathe properly. I was shaking. It was a strange feeling, and it took me maybe 10-15 minutes into the race before I managed to like calm down.
Okay.
And from there, every step was so brutally heavy. I really suffered from the start to the finish line, like physically to be able to run. But it was an amazing experience out there when I heard my name through the whole course, when people are like cheering for me. And of course, like I'm at the famous spot Santo Espiritu. It's around halfway.
Yeah.
It was crazy wild as normal. That was, yeah, like you feel like a rock star when you're there, or like in the craziest parts in the Tour de France. It was wild, and also on the summit of Scori, it was much of the same. Yeah, but I'm very happy about my performance, that I managed to run the race, managed to finish. And then when I crossed the finish line, it also like a strange feeling. There was like the wife of a good friend of mine. She asked how I'm doing, and then I just start crying on their shoulder for I don't know how long. I just collapsed completely. Um, and then my friend, I had a good friend of mine here from Bergen. He was following me through the whole weekend, and he was there supporting me. I called my girlfriend, crying on the phone, and yeah, I get emotional now, but I talk about it. But um, in the way, like when I was done trying, when I get back to myself, I felt like the last 1.5 year was done. I felt like
Yeah.
now I'm done with the case. Now I can start living again. It was yeah, it
Uh,
was a very good day.
it was really nice to see when you came through the finish line and
Yeah,
the guys waiting there uh,
yeah,
came to you and congratulations and so on. I never had the feeling somebody said, "Oh, this guy." Uh, they
I
all
got
were really yeah, they were with you and had fun that you were there and so on. And at
yeah,
the start line, you were on the at the at the side, on the I
yeah.
think on the right side, the far
Yeah, it
out right
depends.
side.
It depends which way you're looking at it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
uh,
but I
and
was on the side, and that's okay. I don't like to be in the center.
was that
Uh,
not an intention, or was that your normal starting position?
yeah, maybe, but like it's maybe sounds strange, but like to be a top athlete, like it's important to have like to get a lot of attention, to be have a lot of numbers on the social media and all these things. But I have to say I don't like the attention. I like just to be myself out running in the mountains. I hate social media, and uh, I I just like to. I really love to compete, and of course I'm happy when people come over and say they want to have a selfie with me because they look up to me. These things, it's nice, but the best thing for me is just to run with my friends up in the mountain.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
Was it like running with your friends up in the mountains, Zegama? Because you were not in the first three
No,
was
far
were
behind.
gone, and you were in the second chasing group. I think always so 7th to 10th place,
Yeah,
plus
something like that
minus.
was, yeah.
But you I think you were never really running alone. There was always somebody around you.
Yeah, most of it I was running with people, uh, different people during the race, but most of it I was running with others, and that was nice. I really enjoyed that with people
Was
I
it
meet
running with
before, but
friends or
also
was it uh, was it running with friends
yeah,
or just survival mode?
yeah, there was also survival mode, but there was also like running with friends and uh, yeah, it was yeah, a little bit like running with friends. Yeah.
On the time before this comeback, um, the last 2 years, I yeah, from time to time I heard some competitors or other runners saying, "Hey, Stian, we're waiting to for your comeback, and we appreciate that you never give up, and so on and so on." Um, did you have before and after the race chats with all of the others? Were there good comments a lot, or were there some people who said okay and gone? Was it
Um,
always
when it
positive?
comes to, from my friends, it's been always positive because they know me. They know like this is like, for example, several of my friends, when I told them about like this, when I got this email from the French Anti-Doping Association in October 23, they said, but that can't be your urine sample. That's like many of my friends have said that. So my friends, they know that I don't cheat, and so they've been there the whole way. And the comments I get after the race, like I haven't actually read all the comments yet, but it's only positive. Like I heard someone was looking at the live. There has been, of course, some trolls there that something, and of course, I think the trolls will always be there. Like they're making a conclusion after reading a headliner, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they will always be there. But my friends know me, and the trail running world has given me so much love, and I really appreciate that, and that matters to me. And I feel very lucky to have all the amazing positive feedback that I get, and that makes me believe that I can continue in the sport and continue to run there with my friends and enjoy it.
Hmm.
Because that's the reason why I'm in the sport, because I think it's amazing. I really love the culture, and also that I find when we run trail running, I find all of us like quite equal. Like yeah, we race like someone runs fast, someone runs slow, but that's like details. I feel like on the start line and before and after the race, we're equal. Don't matter how slow and fast you're running. And I really like that the culture around that, and I hope to continue to be part of it as a top athlete for some more time, and then after that, I will be slower, but I still hope to continue to enjoy this.
Yeah. M- And if you're slow enough, maybe you're coming to Austria and we're running together. But I think that will take decades till you are slow enough.
No,
uh,
no.
uh, but now you're obviously competitive, and you're one of the fastest and strongest guys out in the field now because you ran top 10 at your comeback. That not and it was not some far out race in I don't
Mm.
know where. It was one of the big races. Um, what are your goals and plans for the next, I don't know, month, 2 years? And is there uh, something the Norwegian running or trail running federation wants to do with you, like be in the team or not in the next championships? What
It's
are your plans?
yeah, like first of all, now we've managed to rent a car for some months, like private renting here in Norway. So we will use that car to drive to the Alps. My family and I, like we have 2 kids and a dog. So we will travel to the Alps and stay there for the summer. So in around 1 month time, we will travel. And I plan to run the European Skyrunning Championship, which
Okay.
is in northern Italy, east
Yeah.
of Como Lake. I don't remember the name of the area. I saw the video from the long sky race there, which looks awesome. And then I hope to run. I plan to run a Giedimont, which is next to Como Lake in northern Italy. And then
Okay.
I maybe if I can get a bib, I hope to run Sierre. And if I can qualify, I hope to run the trail running world championship, the
In the
marathon
Pyrenees.
distance, or the short trail as they call it, but
Yeah.
I call it marathon
Yeah.
or
Okay.
classic. I think it's
Yeah.
short trail is a strange name for a 46 or 47K race. But of course, it depends how you look at it. Like compared to a 100 miler, 200 miler, whatever, it's short, but yeah.
And why you're not competing in the vertical? Because that's where you originally came from, and there is a
Mhm.
vertical in the world championships. Is there some special reason for that?
No, yes, I think when I start running verticals, I like it to be steep. That
Okay.
should be like maybe 2.5 kilometer or something, less than 3 at least for 1,000 vertical meters. And I found many of the other verticals are not steep enough for it. I
Okay.
like those races to be really steep. So yeah, and also I think it's fun to run a little bit longer. Like
Why not both?
so far I see, yeah, both. Yeah, it could also be. Uh, yeah, it has worked before on other races. So yeah,
Yeah. What worked in Zegama could work in the Pyrenees.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, we'll see. First, I need to try to qualify for the team and see if I'm
Yeah.
good enough, and then I hope to run there. So we'll see. Maybe I can find some nice uphill running races during the summer to do.
Yeah. I hope to see you. Maybe you're running in Austria as well in the summer. Because northern Italy,
Maybe.
Austria, it's just
Yeah,
just a mountain away.
that's true.
uh,
Just the other side of the mountain ridge. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and I hope to see you at the on the World Championships, because that would be a great comeback there as well. And you have a title to defend. Um,
That's true. I don't feel like I have to defend it. I feel the same people said before Innsbruck, "Yeah, you need to defend your title." But no, I was not there to defend anything. I was
you,
just there to fight for the title.
yeah. Uh, and you have hopefully in the next month a new sponsor, because
Yeah, we'll see. Like now, I don't have anything, but I don't expect to get any sponsor now for this season. Like the budgets are often closed by
yeah,
the end of the autumn. So yeah, we'll see. Like if I hope to get the sponsor for next year. If not, I will see if it's possible to continue my career at all. So
yeah.
but yeah. anyway, like I think it's also really fun to do coaching of other athletes. So that's something I want to do more of. So it's
Yeah, that,
that I think that I like.
I'm positive that this work will work out good for you, and maybe 2026 we meet each other and you can say, okay, I'm finally done with this thing. I'm finally done mentally, and I'm happy again.
Mm.
I wish you all the best that state will be there soon, maybe on your trip uh, now after Zegama and your great comeback. Uh, it was so nice. It was so a pleasure to talk to you. Uh,
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure for me. So thank you so much, and really hope to see you in the trails.
Yeah, you have to wait for me.
I can run slow, no problem.
Yoo-hoo! Okay, thanks. And till next time, I wish you all the best. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.